Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to lose less fights in Fortnite, and also give you guys some tips and tricks on how to win more games. And before we get into the video, I have a weekly V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single Friday, and if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, and as well subscribe to my second channel. I post a ton of really good content on there, so make sure you guys do subscribe. Turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And if you guys would like to support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go into the bottom right hand corner, support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor. Type it in and you guys will have me supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be going over and talking through the clips that I have in this gameplay and in this video. And I also have like 3 or 4 different gameplays in the background. I just don't have one full gameplay. And I usually do, but for whatever reason, for those of you guys who watch my channel a lot, I upload every single day. And for whatever reason, my internet cut out at the beginning of the week. And by the time you guys are watching this video, hopefully my internet can be completely fixed. So I had a ton of clips that I just had saved from just a few days prior. So they haven't made any changes to the game. I just basically haven't been able to play for the past 2 days. But I have a ton of really good clips in this video, and I'm going to be talking over it and really explaining, going into each and every gunfight, exactly how you guys can win a lot more gunfights and just not lose as many fights overall, because I feel like that could be a key reason and why a lot of you guys are losing games. Because that really can be a big factor in why you guys just aren't winning a ton. And a lot of you guys are going into games, you're doing very well, you're killing every single team you go into, but you just find yourself dying game after game towards the end. And one really good way to fix it, and usually what happens to me, and one thing that I've noticed, is more times than not, the gunfights that I was losing, the games where I was losing, were pretty much to the exact same thing time and time again. And it really wasn't that I was making a ton of mistakes. There will always be this one certain team that would constantly kill me time and time again. And that's what I feel like a lot of you guys are losing to. It's just going against that one team that has a playstyle that's a lot better. And this is something that I've noticed, and something that has cost me a lot of games and also cost me a lot of fights, is I would constantly lose to a certain type of playstyle. Maybe it's the playstyle of people playing a little bit more aggressive, or maybe it's the playstyle of people just camping in boxes and I'm trying to go fight other players and I'm getting sprayed out left and right from everybody else in the game. So there's always going to be that one playstyle that you feel like you're going to be losing to more than others. So in order to win more games and also to lose more fights, you really have to understand your playstyle, exactly how you play, and really try to figure out exactly what playstyles work best against you, because a lot of players are going to be trying to do that every game. And if you really know what your weaknesses are and really see exactly what kind of gunfights and what kind of players are killing you time and time again, and it could even be snipers, maybe you feel like you're dying to a sniper rifle every single game. And I've had moments like that where I've had like a week straight I would constantly be dying to snipers game and game again. And it's just one of those things that I just kind of realized that I was maybe doing wrong in my fights. I was fighting other players, and when I was fighting other players, maybe I had high ground on another team and I was just shooting down on them, and I was just getting shot and third party from teams from my side, from behind me. So one thing I did to counter that is basically every single time that I went to a fight, and it didn't matter who I was fighting, I was making sure that I wasn't going to stand still no matter what. Even if the team that I was fighting I already had high ground on had a complete advantage, I was not going to stand still or maybe box myself in before I challenge, just for the reason being other people can't get shots on me while I'm trying to fight that team. And that can be really bad too, because if you get shot at from another team while you're also fighting a team that's below you, the second you get shot from the team that's to your left or right, the player that you were currently fighting is going to come out from just sitting in their box and going to challenge you, and just gives you such a disadvantage in that fight when normally you would have had a complete advantage. So there's a lot of things that you have to consider, really understand what kind of playstyles work best against yours, and really find the strengths in your playstyle as well, because when I play aggressive, I can get really good on a lot of players who play slow. I can play very good on players who play fast. And more than likely, when people play out really fast on me, it's usually when I play on a little bit slower of a playstyle. Because when I'm going against those really aggressive players, one thing that I do a lot that works very well is, since I know they're playing aggressive, they want to go for the quick kill me very fast. So one thing that I do is I usually just box up right away, and because they're playing so aggressive and they want to fight me no matter what, more than likely what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to line up a shot very easily because they're going to be outside of my box, pickaxing it, going for shots here and there. They're basically going to play a little bit more aggressive than they should, which is going to allow them, or pretty much give me a really good opportunity to get a really easy shot on them, because what's going to happen, they're going to be spraying at my box, pickaxing it, and they're usually not going to be going left to right, and they're more likely going to be in more of a still kind of motion, which is going to let me, or give me time to line up a shot with my shotgun, whether it's the combat shotgun, the pump shotgun. It's going to give me time to line up my shot and hit them for max damage. And when you're doing that, you can't just do it off the first few times they try to break your wall, because usually what happens is, if you're going against someone aggressive, what they're going to do is they're going to try to make a quick play on you. They're going to try to, do whatever they can to try to get inside of your box. If you just sit there and hold the wall, what happens pretty much every single time is they get lazier and lazier during the fight. Because usually at the start of it, they're going to play really smart, they're going to be moving left to right a lot more, and they're going to try to avoid taking any shots on you, because a lot of times the players that you go against, when they box in, the first thing they're going to do is go for a window edit, which is very predictable. I wouldn't recommend doing that right away. Maybe after a little bit you could, because the first thing that you want to do is box in, and you want to hold the wall edit for at least, I would say, a good 4 to 5 breaks, when they're just kind of pickaxing it or trying to shoot at your wall, trying to take control of it. And just the reason being is eventually they play really lazy and they're just trying to do anything they can to get inside of your box. And a lot of times they can't really tell if you're that good of a player or not, because if they see that you're a really good player, they're not really going to let up too much. But I mean, the first thing you do is box, and most of the time the players you go against that aren't the best kind of players are going to be doing this. Which means is the other player that you're going against, if they think you're not that good, usually they're going to be playing pretty lazy, which is going to let you get some really easy shots on them, because they're going to underestimate you going into the fight. So knowing your playstyle and knowing how to change up your playstyle can be really beneficial, because when you're going against those aggressive players, like I said, it can be really beneficial to play a lot slower on them. But of course, sometimes you want to play fast, really depending on the situation. More than likely you want to play slower, and then when you're going against those slow players that don't play very quickly, those are the players that you want to play really fast on. So to avoid losing as many fights as possible, you really have to adapt to the people that you're going against. And you really want to identify the type of players you're fighting, whether you see them go for all these flashy edits, and you can just assume that every single time they place a floor above you, they place a ramp above you, they're going to be going for the edit. So it's really easy to predict those players, because usually those players are like the TTV nerds that always like to go for the crazy clips and crazy edits, and then usually end up just dying. So really easy to predict players like that. And then if you're in a PC server, most people just like to build and crank as many 90s as possible. So that's just something to look out for when you're in the PC servers. And also, one thing that I noticed is PC servers, a lot of people just crank 90s and build as literally as much as possible. I think that's just their one goal, is to run through as many mats in the fastest amount of time. And then on console lobbies, it's usually a lot of low ground warriors. You're still going to have people who like to build and different things like that, but more people, when I played on console, used to play really like in a spam kind of way. They like to spray a lot more. So PC, they like to build a lot more, so you have to play a little bit differently against PC players than if you're playing against console players, because console players like to spray a lot more. So you have to find a way to work around that. And then when you're playing on PC servers, more than likely they're going to be the type of players that like to build a lot and run through as many mats as possible in the shortest amount of time. So you really have to know what type of player you're going against, and that's going to set you apart and allow you to win the most amount of fights. You're going to be winning fights left and right, as long as you can identify the play style of the player you're going against, and also your play style, and really understand kind of the weaknesses and strengths of each play style, because not every play style is going to be the best to play with. Some situations you might want to change it up. You want to play slower here, maybe a little faster here. You can't really play the exact same way every single fight and every single game. So you really have to adapt, and that's really one of the best tips I can give you guys when it comes to winning the most amount of fights and also winning the most amount of games. You really have to adapt, because what might work in one game, what might work in one fight, is not going to work for every single fight. So being able to adapt and able to change to the different fights you're going into can really set you apart and let you win so many more games here in Fortnite. And with that being said, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys learned something, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you guys can get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I will see you next video.